My project is on biodiesel for the biofuels project. So biodiesel, and what is biodiesel and where does it come from? Biodiesel is a new alternative fuel to standard or petrol diesel, and it comes from vegetable oils, animal fats, or other waste oils. The primary source in the United States is soybean oil and or meat processing plants. Biodiesel consists of long carbon chains, which when reacted to alcohol, react in a combustion reaction similar to how gasoline or standard diesel would. It can be used independently, so you can use pure biodiesel, and you can also blend it with standard diesel to make it cleaner. You can also use biodiesel in a standard diesel engine, so you do not have to convert the engine to use biodiesel. It's made most commonly through base catalyzed transesterification, which uses catalysts like sodium hydroxide, sodium methoxide, potassium hydroxide. It's favored for fast reaction times and lower catalyst costs, so it's just the cheapest and fastest method of producing it, not necessarily the most efficient on the products side, but it's cheap and fast, so that's how it's made a lot. It's implemented not really thoroughly yet, as it is still pretty new. However, the UK has promised to use 5% or so in recent years. Currently, you can find a lot of B5 mix, which is 5% biodiesel and 95% standard diesel. However, in some parts of the world where production is better and awareness is higher, you can find B30 or even B100, which is a pure biodiesel mix. And as technology improves in the production where they can make it more efficiently, they can make more biodiesel with less material. And as awareness of the potential of biodiesel grows, we should see more implication. The pros: biodiesel produces less soot than standard diesel, so it's better for human health, better for the environment in that way. It's renewable because you use crops or animals which we can raise or grow, so it's a renewable energy source. It also naturally lubricates engines, helping them to last longer, which is just good for the economy, good for the environment, because the less damaged engines we have, the less end up in landfills, less work needs to be done on them. It's carbon neutral because it produces carbon dioxide, but the plants that are used to make it absorb carbon dioxide. It's also biodegradable, so bacteria and algae can break down biodiesel, which means that spills or other accidents like that have less of a negative impact on wildlife and the environment. And also, most countries already have the materials needed to make biodiesel, so they will have the ability to produce more in country, so they won't have to import as much oil, which will just lower fossil fuel use in general, because they don't have to transport it by boat. The cons: biodiesel produces a lot of nitrogen oxide emissions, which does contribute to smog, which is bad for the environment in different ways than greenhouse gases, like carbon dioxide or soot. Biodiesel requires farmland to produce, so if you use existing farmland, you run into potential food scarcity problems where farmland that was used for food is now used for biodiesel production. Or it can also mean the deforestation of areas to produce farmland to produce biodiesel, which is damaging to biodiversity. It also dissolves rubber, which can damage older cars that use a lot of rubber in the engine bay. So biodiesel is pretty new, pretty promising, but there's a long way to go before it can be implemented in a large scale way.